Hey everyone, it's Berta from Shag Shoes. I'm here today to do a DIY video on how to crystal a writing pen. So let's look at the supplies you'll be needing for the project. At the end of the video, I will put up some pictures showing you where you can find all of these supplies online. So first you will need a towel. You most definitely can use a paper towel if you like. I find a towel to be a little bit easier. You will need a teacup or a cup of this size. Magnifying glasses, the crystals are very small and a very good light. You will need a wax stick. These wax sticks actually help you pick up the crystals and place them on the project. You'll see more about that later. You will need a little tray to have your crystals sitting in. You will need E6000 transparent or clear glue. You will need a sharp metal tool of some kind. Don't go crazy trying to find something special. This is a Revlon cuticle pusher, but it has this fabulous sharp tip. That's what you need, is a metal tool with a sharp tip. And then you need some Swarovski crystals. Swarovski crystal is the #1 crystal in the world. It is a jewel. It gives you the most beautiful shine. It is a little bit more expensive, but it's well worth it. You can use acrylic crystals. You will not get the shine, and the glue actually does not work well with acrylic crystals, and it kind of dulls them a little bit. So if you want a really shiny crystal object or project, go Swarovski all the way. All right, so today the pen we're doing is this really cool pen from alimuse.com. Copper in color and has a really cool acrylic diamond at the top. So I did one of these a few weeks ago with an SS10 size crystal. And you can see it turned out fabulous. The crystals are very chunky on there. It's really fun to write with. It looks glamorous. Today, however, for this other pen, we're going to be using size SS7 crystals. And I did another pen with SS7, so you can see how much smaller they are than the chunky crystals. And that is why you need a magnifying glass. They're super small, but it is gorgeous. So, all right. Got our products together? Let's get to crystalline. Okay friends, I have the crystals set up here in a tray with the wax stick. Got my cup, my towel, my glue. So we're just going to dive right in here. And I just want to start by putting a nice little glob of glue right at the tip of that pen. Then I'm going to take my sharp little tool and I'm going to flatten that glue out. So we don't have a big glob, we just kind of have this nice little thin layer that goes all the way around the top of the pen. Okay. So then we're going to start picking up crystals with this little wax tip. And we're just going to place them on the pen. Pretty simple. Just repeat the process. Try to move as quickly as you can because this glue does dry fairly quickly. It's not like if you make a mistake you can't start over. You can easily just take it all apart and remove the glue from the pen and start over. But if you move fast enough you can get around pretty quickly before that glue dries. Just keep going. Coming up to the end of the first row. Got a little space, so we're just going to kind of spread these out so there's no space. We can go back to our little pointing tool at this point. Just make sure all of them are on there real good. Press down. Make sure the line looks straight. Boom, first line's on. You want to set that down to kind of dry for a little bit. Okay. Okay, folks, we're just going to keep going here. Basically, you're just getting the glue on in an even layer. These wax sticks can be purchased at most hobby stores, or at the end of the video, I'll let you know where I picked up mine. As you can see, they pick up several crystals. You just kind of have to keep an eye on it. Try to keep them even as you're placing them on the pin. Don't try to be perfect, because we're going to pick up that metal tool when we get done, and we're going to force them into the position we want them to be in before they get solidly glued down. All right. So now basically, oops, let's clean the tip off. That's why we want a metal tool, because the glue comes right off that metal. So basically, I am just going around making sure that the crystals are on there, pressed on into the glue. They're kind of lined up with the one above it. Of course, this isn't going to be perfect on every pin, because not every pin is the same width, or most pins changed width. So, really just depends on the pin you're decorating. I'm going to put a little bit more glue on there. Going to flatten that out so we have a nice surface to put the crystals on. This is basically it. You will work your way down the pin, do a few rows at a time, and then you want to put the pin in the cup to dry. It doesn't have to dry for too long, but you'll have a break. Looking through the magnifying glasses for long periods can hurt your eyes, so definitely take breaks. You can see there's a hair on that thing. It just collects everything. It's a wax tip. All right, that's this third row. I have enough glue on there. Let's do the fourth row. Just as a reminder, at the end of the video, I will be putting up information where you can buy your crystals, your pen, all your supplies, where you can contact me if you need help with your project, or if you'd like me to do a project for you. Hey folks, here we are again. You can see I've worked down 4 rows on the pen. I think my last clip was a little not focused. It's hard for me to do this with a camera. Basically, we're getting the glue on the pen in a nice even layer. Use the metal tool to spread it out. Doesn't have to be perfect. by any means. No grades. Okay. They make different forms of wax sticks. Some are longer. I just find this one to be easier. You can find them at most hobby stores. And I will show you at the end of the video where I ordered mine. Basically, it's just one row after the other. Try to go not super quick. Oops. Try not to drop the pen. One more for this row. Want to pick up your metal tool and just get those two to cooperate with us. Check the others that we just put on. Just want to make sure they're adhered in the glue and straight. There's enough glue for another row. Let's get it on before that glue gets too tacky. Just dropped it. Let's get our metal tool in here. Just don't think I have enough glue right there, so this is one of those things. Just add a little dollop of glue. Pick up a new crystal. Don't throw away the crystals that have a little glue on the back and fell off. Keep those. Clean them at the end of your project. Those are expensive. You don't want to just be tossing those out. They're still usable. All right. So you see how we're doing. Again, let's go ahead and put that in the cup to rest and dry for a little bit, and we'll be back. Okay, folks, so I have crystalled down the pen to this transition area. Basically, the transition area is where the pen twists to open up to be used. I've put this little crystal here so you can see on the video what I'm talking about. So we want to make sure we do not glue that area shut. And it might be that we won't be able to fit 2 rows on here. We might just be able to fit 1, so there'd be a small little brassy area showing through on the pen. But we'll see if we can't fit 2 rows on. Okay, I have placed the glue on. It does not look like we're going to get 2 rows on there. It's just not enough space. So I'm going to space this crystal out a little. Remember, it does not have to be perfect as you're placing it on the pen. We're going to use that metal tool to straighten it up. We just want to get it on before the glue gets too tacky. Okay, we got one more going to go on. Right, we want to get our little metal tool out, and let's get this line straightened up. Make sure the crystals are in the best little straight row we can get, that they're sitting firmly in the glue. All right, so there we go. We're right on the cuspus of the transition. Okay. So let's get some glue on the second area, right under the transition. Remember, try real hard to not get it into the line of the pen. You want to make sure this pen works when we're done. I've discovered doing this pen that the crystals are so small, the wax tip can usually pick up 2 of them at a time. I said usually. Sometimes your wax tip gets a little bit of glue on it, and sometimes it doesn't want to pick up a crystal because of that. So just remember that it is made out of wax. So once you finish your row, just go ahead and pull on the tip of the wax tip pen, and it will basically take all the glue right off the tip of it. You need a little bit of glue right there. For our last crystal on this side of the transition. Alright, so now that we got that on underneath the transition, we want to go and we want to press that up as close as we can to the transition area. So it's right on the cuspus. Most pens you pull apart right here to replace the ink cartridge. So just want to make sure it's right up on it. Alright, that looks good. So we're going to let that transition area dry a little bit. We're going to set it right here in our cup. Alright, see you soon. Okay folks, so I've crystalled down to almost the tip of the pen. And basically I want to show you this area. As you can see, the pen is pretty much the same width all the way down until we get to the tip, and it starts to get a little smaller. So basically when you're crystalline the pen and you're going and you're keeping your rows straight, just realize when the pen shape changes, so will your rows, and don't get upset about that. It's really not noticeable. You'll just have less crystals as you go down to the tip of the pen. Okay? Let's do a couple rows. Okay, As you can see, I'm able to pick up a couple at a time because they're a little bit small, and that helps us get through the glue before it gets too tacky. When you're first starting out, you might not put as much glue on your project and just do smaller sections until you get a rhythm going where you understand how fast the glue dries to your speed of getting the crystals on. It's all individual. Like I said, we're getting to some areas where your crystals are not going to match up because the pin shape is changing. Don't let that bother you. Just keep putting the crystals on. If you drop one like that, just pull it off. That way you can see it's no big deal. See, this moves rather fast. Just keep going. As long as the glue is receptive, get the crystals on. We can straighten them out later with the metal tool. The glue's a little dry right there. I'm going to pull that off. All right. So let's get the tool out. Again, this is where you can reposition the crystals. Make sure they're pressed into place. All right. Okay, let's get some glue on. Get that all the way down to the tip of the pen. All right. Looking good. Okay, friends. So I have finished crystalling the pen all the way down to the tip. Looks amazing. I have the other pen I did here with SS10 and 12 crystals, and this is SS7. So you can see the difference. They're both beautiful, gorgeous. The only thing I haven't done on the pink one is right up here on the tip. I put some crystals. But I'm thinking these crystals are small enough, I'm going to go ahead and put them all the way up here. I think that's going to look pretty amazing. And that's something you can do with each project. You can change. It's up to you. So let me get some glue and crystals ready for the tip of the big gem. We're going to do that before we end this project. All right. So we're just going to put some glue right up the edge of this. Don't worry about those strings, they'll come right off. Let's get that glue flattened out. Get your metal tool. I'm going to make sure all of those are on there real good. That they're in a good straight line. I think that's going to look great. All right, let's do the other 4. Okay. These are the last few crystals for this project. So, here we go, folks. Absolutely gorgeous, functionable, glamorous. Anyone can do this. Sure had fun showing you how. At the end of the video, I will put up a few pictures showing you where you can order the pen, the crystals, and where you can contact me if you need help. Had fun, everyone. Thanks so much.